shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Fear of a Flat Planet, presented by Toyota. I'm here today with Liam Gill, who's on both the slope and the pipe NextGen teams. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Super stoked to still be snowboarding after everything's been closed, you know.
For sure. Everything's closed around here, and like all the mountains and COP still open, right?
Yeah. Alberta's the last thing standing, so.
Yeah. And BC's now shut down, like lockdown.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because usually Whistler stays open, and then do you know if they're going to open the glacier?
I have no idea, but Sunshine should be open for like May long, so I don't know. Who knows? It could shut down tomorrow. All of Alberta, so
that would suck, but it's sick that it's still open, man.
Mhm.
Man, how was your season? I wanna how have you been lately? What you been up to?
Season's been pretty busy for having a pandemic, for sure. Even just staying in Calgary is pretty busy. You know, I live here, and COP's been. They have a pretty good course with the half pipe and slope. And since I'm on both teams, some days I spend a couple hours in the half pipe and then a couple hours on the course. So I've been pretty busy, and recently the weather's been pretty beat on the courses. So they're doing a rebuild, and there should be a spring camp in a couple days here, which I'm super excited.
I think I'm coming out there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then I've also been super fortunate to make a connection with the snowboarders up in Fort Simpson. I'm very proud to be part of the Liidlii Q First Nations, and I think it's very important to represent my culture in snowboarding. So yeah.
Yeah, that's sick, man. That's really cool. I wanted to ask you, actually, is there anything like different about growing up like as First Nations in snowboarding, or you think you kind of came into it the same way as everyone else?
I think I came into it the same way as everyone else, and I'd really like to represent to the other kids up north, you know, that I am one of them and I can snowboard, so they can as well, you know.
Yeah, that's sick, and that's really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I know this season you started competing in World Cups in half pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know what that first experience with those bigger competitions like going. I know you were in Aspen. How was that for you this season?
Man, it's crazy. Just coming off of competing in national events for since I was 13, since I got my FIS license, and then all of a sudden I'm competing against Scotty and Sean White. What? You know, it's pretty crazy. And then I got to compete in the rodeo slopestyle. I just kind of snuck in. And all the World Cups are crazy. It's nothing I ever thought I'd get to. So
yeah. With the big dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of those people who have invented tricks in the half pipe, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Same way in slope for me this year, competing. You know, just Mark and Seb being on the national team.
Yeah,
it's they invented some of the tricks that everyone does.
Even just going to Sauce Fe for a training camp, and then there's pros literally left and right. You're
oh yeah, it's a different atmosphere, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this season. Okay, do you know how many tricks you've learned in the pipe this season?
I have no clue. All I know is I had, I landed 1.9 prior to this season, and I had 2 7s, I think. So I don't know. I just kind of, ever since Sauce Fe, it's just been bang, 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 and I don't know.
And slope too.
Yeah, this year's been pretty darn good for snowboarding. I don't know why. A lot of people, when Craig said the pandemic progression in the big area at X Games.
Yeah, I do.
I think, I don't know. I think that's what it was. Just staying away from snowboarding for so long, not even being injured, it just made me want to, snowboard. It just made me that much more hungry, I guess.
What about the back-to-back tens in pipe? That is like,
Man.
that's
So
like a lot higher level than a lot of like what a lot of people can do in pipe.
I actually like I landed it once before, but it wasn't like that good, and I didn't want to post it because the cab 10 was just not good whatsoever. I like fully two hands down, like I'm fully compressed in the transition, and I just wanted to get it better, and it took like another day or so because of the conditions. But once the conditions were right and I was feeling it, it happened. But I don't know, it was pretty crazy because I learned the cab 10 in sauce, was able to do a couple more during when the half pipe was really good in Calgary. And then I just newly learned the front dub 10. And I was like, I got to piece these together. Like I've always wanted to do back-to-back 10s in the pipe.
Yeah, that is crazy.
10. So, yeah.
Man, yeah, it looks like you've been doing so well. But going back, I wanted to know how you first got into snowboarding. You always start riding at COP or?
So when I was a kid, my mom always made sure I was like, soccer, hockey, volleyball.
Yeah, always.
Always making sure I was busy doing sports and stuff. So, as I was 2 and she put me on skis.
Oh yeah.
And I started skiing for like a year or so, and I was like, once I was like 2 and 3 skiing, I saw my dad snowboarding. I think every kid kind of idolizes their dad, and I was like, damn, like I really want a snowboard. And then I asked Santa for a snowboard, and then he laughed at me, and I was like crying and stuff. I was like, oh. But then I ended up getting that snowboard, and then I started at 4 and then kind of kept doing a bunch of different sports. Like I stopped skiing when I was 12. So
really,
I always wanted to get back on a pair of skis. Was that, sorry?
You did both for a while.
Yeah, and I did a bunch of sports, and then once I was probably around 13 or 14, I kind of focused more on snowboarding.
So did you ever ski competitively?
Yeah, I used to do like the free riding, like the backcountry contests and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I qualified third once for like the U13 heat. Okay. And then I ditched finals to go snowboarding.
Good choice.
Yeah, I couldn't give up the opportunity to snowboard.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, and then when did you first start competing on a snowboard?
I was, like the little like provincial events, like they had like the mini half pipe and like the little tiny boxes. Like I can't even really remember.
The ASA ones? Yeah,
the little ASA events. And I've actually judged a couple of those just because I was like, damn, like I used to be one of those kids, trying to make sure they had the experience I have, which was pretty cool. And then there was like the Royal events, and then I started getting into like the slopestyle stuff when I think my first time I was 8 or 9, I think. Not too sure.
Your sponsors. Did you start on, like, I think you're on LibTech now, correct?
Yeah, I'm on LibTech, yeah.
Did you start on a LibTech board? Have you ridden?
Yeah, well, so my first board was, what was it? A Burton something.
I know I had a Burton chopper. It's actually above me right there.
Yeah. It might have been a couple years older than that one. It was a chopper though. It had like little green radios on it. It was pretty cool. And then that's the only snowboard my dad ever sold, and it was my first one. Oh. And then the second snowboard was, it's okay, it was a Burton. I'm kidding. And then my second snowboard was a LibTech. And ever since that, I've been kind of like, I've had like an Arbor and a Lobster, but ever since I've just had LibTech. And then I've been fortunate enough to get a LibTech sponsor, which is pretty cool.
And then bent metal as well, correct?
Right?
And then bent metal as well? Yeah,
bent metal. Picked up bent metals because I used to ride unions, and then they ended up being like super similar, and I like them a lot. So
yeah. That's sick. So you're riding now like literally what you rode your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Cool. And then, so how many actual different models of board have you ridden then, or have you ridden like the same?
I was on the box knife for like 3 years. This year and last year I've been on the TRS. And then I had a couple Travis Rice, like the kid Travis Rice models for a couple years. And then I had my first one was a Skate Banana. So I went from Skate Banana to like the Travis Rice series to, and then I had a utility knife. That was my first like big boy board, you know, like camber. It was actually stiff. That's where I really learned how to like actually ride. And then I've kind of I pick a model for a few years and then kind of move on, but I think I'm gonna stick with the TRS for a while.
Yeah, it looks like you've been killing it on that board. But would you be down, like, you know, if LibTech sent you a board to just like try a completely different model and like go into a competition with it, or would you rather just stick to that board that you know?
I'd totally be down to like try the new technology because that's what I've done like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it's been recommended. But like right before a contest, I don't know, but I'm definitely down to like try like new things, like new technology and new stuff like that.
For sure. Okay. And you were on Riders on Board before NextGen, correct? Are you still?
I was on Riders and then Academy and then NextGen. So yeah.
So do they, I don't really know, but do Riders on Board do like much trips like out of country?
I've gone to the States with them before. And then they would go to like national contests and stuff. Rather than that, they would go to the mountains sometimes. Like we go to Kicking Horse and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've ever really had like training camps, like jump camps and stuff like that. It's more so like teaches you how to have fun and stuff.
Yeah. So this year would be your first year like traveling to like Europe.
100%. I did have that one where I went with you to Sweden. That was my first time ever leaving North America, and then after that, I've been kind of in and out of North America for doing stuff.
So how was it this year with, well, first of all, with COVID, it's affected everyone's season, but like traveling out of country for those competitions for the first time, other than Sweden, and for half pipe ones too?
Pretty crazy, you know, spending my whole like snowboarding time like in Canada, then next thing I know, like I'm on the other side of the planet. Snowboarding is pretty crazy. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about, after this season of competing, maybe that's changed your perspective a little bit. What are your like and your future goals in snowboarding? Where do you want to go with it? Do you just want to have fun, or you want to be like super competitive?
Of course I want to have fun. Like all snowboarding is to me is fun and stuff like that. Like I think competing and, you know, putting a little like pressure on myself and trying to be the best snowboarder I can be is just like kind of like a cherry on top. But I definitely really like to go to the Olympics. It's probably been a goal of mine since I stepped on a snowboard for sure. Yeah. I don't even think there was Olympics in snowboarding then, but I always wanted to go to the Olympics. Either it was hockey or whatever sport I did. And the more I snowboarded, it's like the end goal. But other than that, I just want to, you know, keep snowboarding in my life, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, coaching or whatever, being a rep or owning part of a company. I just want to have snowboarding like in my life because
I would probably say the same. So do you want to, would it be a goal for you to go to the Olympics for both pipe and slope?
Yeah, for sure. I got some work cut ahead of me, some work ahead of me if I want to do that, but that'd be cool.
Have anyone ever done that?
I know Jan Shear went for slope in Sochi.
He did?
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know if he did half pipe the same year.
Yeah. Well, so we think no one's done it at the same time.
I'm not too sure. That'd be cool. That'd be super cool.
That would definitely be sick. Okay, and then what's your thoughts on those like competitions like X Games, Do Tour? Is that something you want to do like?
Oh,
every
100%.
year? And then what about? I know a lot of people are getting into like the backcountry side of snowboarding, something like natural selection. You want to do it all or kind of focus on?
I'd love to do it all. I mean, like I've always tried to like, you know, be the best snowboarder I can be, whether it's this or that or this or that. I like the only reason I kind of stuck with half pipe and slope is because I don't know, I just wanted to ride everything.
Yeah.
I made sure I was just riding rails, riding this, riding that. So I don't know. I haven't spent too much. Like I've never gone out in like the actual backcountry. Definitely something on my bucket list. That's something I definitely want to do.
Yeah, and I know there's some spots out at like Sunshine and like and stuff like that. And have you ridden much of that, or are you kind of like always in the park? Just
on like a regular sunshine day, usually don't spend the whole day in the park. Like I'll definitely go rip some terrain and stuff, but I've never gone actually out like backcountry stuff.
Okay. And you do a lot of filming too?
Yeah, filming is definitely something you kind of gotta get into. It's like,
yeah, you think?
I don't know, it's like such a good way of like expressing, snowboarding. You can express snowboarding in your style for sure, but I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
You always want to get clips out there and just like showcase your snowboarding.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of showcasing your snowboarding, I know you have a lot of TikTok followers.
Yeah, I've been kind of on the TikTok grind. I always used to make fun of TikTok, and then I posted that one video of me going up the T-bar.
In lax.
It just blew up, and then I just couldn't stop making TikToks, and then now it's just kind of.
So yeah, you're big into that. And have you actually gained like a lot of Instagram followers from that as well?
I don't think so, but the video of me going up the T-bar on Instagram also did really good. So yeah, it's kind of both of my social medias are going up, but TikTok's definitely the one that's going up. It's just kind of like mess around, don't really post anything serious. It's just kind of to make people laugh, make people's days better. So
yeah, and that's what seems to do well, actually.
Yeah. A lot of people don't really care about me spinning a bunch of times. They'd rather see some relatable video that they'd laugh to.
Yeah, like, can you backflip? Can you backflip? But can you backflip?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Okay, well, I don't think I have anything else for you. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, it was awesome talking.
Yeah, I got a few thank yous to say. We got to thank Skull Candy and Canada Snowboard for putting on this podcast. Anyone listening can go to the Canada Snowboard website, canadasnowboard.ca. You can check out all of the gear that they have. The masks have been the favorite. I'm sure you have a few of those.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch.
Sweaters, toques, t-shirts, anything like that. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking.